please. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. All right. So, what a day today. Wow, big gap down today. And I figured it'd be appropriate this week to talk about dip buys, as we saw a pretty big one that came into the close here today. And we'll talk about maybe one of the reasons why. As we go through today, we're going to talk about moving averages as one of the dip buying strategies. So, good stuff there. But before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So, please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. So what we're going to do is first, we're going to see where we left off in the market here today, and then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening and what might be setting up going into tomorrow. And then we're going to take a look at the topic, and then we'll go through questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so SPX, guys, wow, down 68 points today. What a turn, right? So we were green on the monthly chart for a while, and we just flipped red here today. And big pullback, right? So we gapped down and ended up with a, so far to start the week with a red weekly candle. But we were kind of expecting this, right? Because we had option expiration on Friday. So we have all this fresh expiration. We had a lot of puts coming into the open today. And they tended to the downside. But goodness gracious, guys, we got a lot of volume here today. So nice bounce right here. We'll talk about this in a little bit here, but nice lower shadow here for a good bounce. And on the daily chart, well, or on the 60-minute chart, let's see. This could be an extended ABC, right? So we could really get ABC, and then we might be working on the move up, right? So very, very possible there. Let's take a look at the S&P futures. Oh, up 11 points here so far after the big sell-off today, and then a little bit of a rally into the close, right? So what we really want to see is, and that's kind of the theme of this week, what we really want to see is bullish follow-through, right? That's one of the big things that's really important. So just because you're at a level, just because you're at a moving average, just because you're at a Fibonacci, whatever the case is, whatever we talk about this week, right? We still need follow-through, right? So that's going to be one of the key things. So it might just be a temporary bounce, right? So we'll see where we go from there. But let's take a look here at the futures here this evening. So we got a little bit of a geometric line right here. We got a nice a little bit of a higher low. So let's get this here. So we got that here going into this evening. And we have the larger one right here going into today. So let's see. So we got this. Ended up breaking out here a little bit here after hours. So as long as we stay above this, right, we might start to get bullish here going into tomorrow. But again, it's all about the follow through. So good stuff there, but up 11 points right here. It looks like we're getting a little bit here so far. We'll see what happens at 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. when the European market opens, and then we'll see what happens at the usual 8 to 8:30 shenanigans time, right? So good stuff there. So anyway, guys, so like I said, this week we're going to be talking about buying the dip, and we're going to be going over strategies. Today's strategy that we're going to be talking about is the moving averages, right? So where do we bounce off of moving averages? Well, it's not that we necessarily bounce off of moving averages. We've talked about moving averages in the past, but the reason that moving averages work is because they're kind of like this self-fulfilling prophecy, right? They're really nothing, right? There's nothing really to it. It's just an average of price. However, some have found it to be so consistent, or so consistent areas that they'll have algorithms, they'll have traders trade off of those areas, right? So today, the big level that we bounced off of today on multiple indexes here, multiple versions of the SPY, right, was the 50-day moving average, right? So why is the 50-day moving average so important? I don't know. This is a self-fulfilling prophecy, but a lot of folks like to trade off of this. A lot of institutions like to use it. As long as you're above, we talk about being above the 80 EMA for an intermediate trend, right? So for the longer term trend, one of the ones we like to look at here is the 50-day moving average. The other one, this is a simple moving average. This is exponential. The 8 is exponential. The 50 is simple. And so is the 200, right? These are very important levels. So you can see here that this level, this 50-day moving average, has been bounced off of a lot, right? So we've got, let's take a look here. So we've got, let me make sure everything's coming through. Okay, yeah. So boom, right here we had a bounce off the 50-day moving average. Here we bounced off the 50-day moving average. Oh, we undershot it right here, and we started to go right. Because you see they like to buy off of this level right here, and here we got a nice lower shadow of 50-day. So the real question is, right, are we going to get any follow through, right? So here you can see we had a green candle off this, and we got follow through the next day. We pushed below it right here. We had a green candle, follow through the next day, and then we held the 80 EMA. So what we really want to see is a green candle. We want to get back above the 80 EMA and try to hold that. Oh, here's another one off the 50-day moving average. Green candle, follow through, and then we just kind of a little sideways action, and then up again. Oh, a couple little undershadows here off the 50-day moving average. Right, green candle, we're going to sway up, off the 50-day moving average. Green candle kind of worked its way up. Let's get over the ADMA and try to ride that up as much as it can right here. Now this is a big undershoot of the 50-day moving average, but once they got above it, look how aggressively they started buying it right before things got a little bit crazy, right? Again, another undershoot right here. Started to get some follow through off of it again here, right at the 50-day moving average, right there, and the 200-day, right? Got over the ADMA with good volume and started to work its way up, right? So again, it's a rising 50-day, right? So that's an important consideration too, right? A rising 50-day, okay? So it can make a nice move there. So good stuff there. The other one we'd like to look at, if we go to the weekly chart, right, and we've talked about this in the past too, is the 30-week, right? So let's go to the simple movers, the 30 weekly moving average here. And let's go to the 30, and this corresponds pretty closely to the 200-day. But this is one we definitely like to look at right here. This is the blue one right here. I'll just kind of edit this, make this a little bit bigger so you can see it there. It's 50-day moving average, right? Very important change in composure line right here. You can see it's kind of aligned here with the 200-day where we bounced here. Weekly got close here, but see how it gave you a lot of distance right? But under it, right, watch out, right? That's what happened in the Corona crash. Once we got under the 30-day, 30-week, here we held the 30-week, here we held the 30-week, here we held the 30-week, up under it right here, things got bearish for a little bit right before things got going again, right? So this is another important level moving average to look at there too. So again, they're really nothing, right? They're not actual levels, right? But algorithms now and institutions like to trade off of them, and traders like to trade off them as well. And you see that gave us today with the gap down, everybody's like, when are we going to bounce? When are we going to buy the dip? Well, it's a pretty good area. Now, did they make it easy today? No, it was not easy. In fact, we held it for a long time here today, and it really wasn't until the end of the day where they started to push it right here. But there was plenty of volume that came in here at the close. Look at this candle, right? Look at this, how many shares were traded here in the last candle right here. 6.4 million on the last candle of the day, the last 5-minute candle of the day. Huge, right? The opening candle was, and it was a pretty big opening candle today too, was 3.7 million. So that was a huge amount of volume here into the close. So definitely some good bullish price action there going into tomorrow. So good stuff, guys. So that's using moving averages. Again, definitely keep an eye on those key ones that we talked about here, and then we'll see where we'll continue this series going into tomorrow. And I got some pretty cool ones that I think you guys will like this week. So so good stuff there. All right, so at this point now, if anybody's got any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So options, Rock sent a few in here via Twitter, so let's take a look at these. These are some great ones that were mentioned over the weekend. Trip, again, look at that. Potential doji sandwich down, right? Down, look at that. Look at the volume of that doji right there. So watch it if it breaks down below today's low and see if it wants to get going to the downside. Notice how it's below the 200-day, right? Wow, hanging on to the ADMA, so still generally holding trend right here. V, again, lost the ADMA right here, so if it continues to work its way down, watch its 50-day moving average, it's a potential area of interest. And PD, let's take a look. PD with a nice engulfing candle right here, bullish engulfing candle over the inside day, so if it takes out these highs and gets over the cloud, let's even get over this 40 level and then try to go. Notice how it's a bow tie right here of the 50, the 200, and the ADMA, all joining right here at this 40 level, obviously going to be an area of interest. So cool stuff there. What else? So Shirley sent a few in via email. Shirley, hope you're doing great out there. Let's take a look at mRNA. Still going, guys. Wow. We pointed this one, like I said, we pointed this one back out on the, I believe the 8th back here, on this day right here. And then we had a pause day and then ended up working its way up, gave another inside day, and then it really started to work its way up here in mRNA. Amazing stuff there. Boeing, still pretty weak here, guys. Lost the 200-day on, that's why not surprised to see a little bit more follow-through in this. Lost the 200-day on Friday with increasing volume. Got the gap down today, and this is one we pointed out at the open day for some weakness right here. So we'll see if this holds. We got a couple levels right here. I tweeted this out a little bit earlier. The big geometric line, right, from the lows, right, from when it was back at 89 up here, which just intersects right here, so you just got to draw that intersection, right, is right down here around 200, right, and then we'll talk about this other one here later this week, so we'll see how that goes. Let's take a look at 6. So 6 was down here today, but it was also down on news, right, so I believe they had like some sort of chemical accident or something like that. I overheard it here today. Chemical incidents at Six Flags Water Park in Texas. So I'm not sure exactly what the story was there, but maybe it was like a lot of chlorine or something like that. But anyway, scary stuff right there. So yeah, that took a little bit of a hit here today when the market was pretty bearish and it had rough news. So again, everybody, well, the market seems to be concerned about this this Delta variant of the COVID, right? And there's starting to be like more concerns about travel and all that stuff, right? Like the CDC said like don't travel to the UK, and so anyway. So again, so a lot of these travel names, airline names, your usual suspects from back during the Corona crash are kind of getting hit here. So keep an eye on that one, see if that turns into a doji sandwich down. And Levi, this was a recent Good earnings report, right? Ended up gapping up, kind of chopping right here, and that also closed below its 15-day moving average here today with increasing volume. So a little bit of caution there. I think some Reddit names. I think it became a Reddit name too, or a Wall Street Bets name. So, but they're getting a little bit down here, so a little bit risk there. Okay, so good stuff. Thanks, Shirley. The Nest, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at Vizio. So Vizio, again, good dip by here today off the cloud. Left a bit of an upper shadow off the ADMA, so let's see if it can get above today's highs. HSKA, let's take a look. HSKA with a push over the ADMA, bit of an upper shadow off the recent highs, so a little bit of caution there, but over today's highs could get things going again. And EXPI, let's take a look. EXPI, again, back into yesterday's range. A little bit of a whoops reversal on that one there today. We saw a bunch of those today. IRBT, let's take a look at iRobot. Oh, nice bullish engulfing candle on that one. Wow, and everything was super duper bearish. Look at that thing getting strong here over the ADMA with some volume. Let's see if we get some follow through on that. Great find there. Ollie Wally, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Wish. Again, pushing out. I know, I wish this thing would get going again one of these days here. Again, big thing really to look at is at least to see if it can get out of this, this range right here, right? So let's even get above there and get a 50-day, get over the cloud, and maybe we'll get some volume coming back in this thing again. And NVIDIA going split tomorrow. This was the big one. We pointed this out on the live stream this morning. It was one of the only strong names when everything else was kind of weak, but good strength on NVIDIA as they rallied. That's where the bulls were hiding this morning. So a big rally off of that one here today as they got a last-minute stock split rally. So good stuff there. Roy, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, let's take a look at NVAX. This is a huge one today. A couple members traded this one intraday today. Again, kind of a rough upper shadow right here off of this geometric line. So that's kind of the only thing. If it closed strong above that, I'd be like, yeah, let's see if this thing can break out. But in the meantime, I really want to see it get above this kind of 222 level on that one. ZEK, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at X. Let's see. So X, let's see. Decent move. Just couldn't get into yesterday's range, so maybe it'll try to do that. Again, it's that's always tough when it can't go back in. Chewy. Again, beautiful breakout candle, nice bullish engulfing candle on this one here today. I like it if it can break above these highs. It's going to be on the watch list going on to tomorrow. Melly, again, similar, right? It tagged yesterday's range but rejected it, right? So it did not get into that range right there. So a little bit of caution here. It may be working on, kind of a bullish type flag here. So just kind of look for some sort of breakout here over the 200-day moving average and see if it can get going. So good stuff there. And Angela, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Nike, Schnikes. So Nike, again, guys, this was the one after earnings that we talked about. If it could break above this level, right, look for it for a day trade, and it got a nice move, and it continued to work its way above the gap up highs. And now it's kind of working its way back, right? So this also was a harmonic that ended up working into earnings. And so now at this point where you kind of want to look at is if this pullback is going to continue here below the ADMA, you want to look at the 382 as a potential target, right? So so keep an eye on this one if it wants to kind of see how it handles that level if it keeps pulling back. So good stuff there. And Adobe. Yeah, Adobe was looking like it had a rough day today. Closed right smack dab with a spinning top right on the ADMA. And when did Adobe get to 600? Goodness gracious. So wow, it's really up there, isn't it? Golly, I haven't traded this one in a while. So we did do a couple harmonics back here, but again, it seems like $200 stock. But anyway, I mean, what do they do? Don't they just make Acrobat or something like that? Anyway, no, they make like Photoshop and all that stuff too, right? Premiere and everything. So anyway, Adobe. So cool stuff there. Nice. So see how it holds, right? See if we can push above today's highs and continue to make all-time highs. GG, what's going on in NVIDIA? We looked at this one again. A big thing on this one is the stock split. After the stock split, guys, you tend to have 1 or 2 days up move, and then then it tends to work its way down. So keep an eye on that on NVIDIA after the split, and then usually it tends to work its way back up after that. So keep an eye on that for the next couple weeks. And MTSL, let's take a look. MTSL, big push there today. Wow, nice move there. A little penny name right here, but it did fill the gap and then kind of left you with an upper shadow. Again, over today's highs could get interesting. Adriana, what's going on? Good to see you. I know, yeah, pretty brutal, right? So mRNA, though, nice kind of standing out there as a strong name still. And then Starbucks standing out as a weak name today. Bit of an upper shadow off that one, but if it breaks down below these lows, watch your 50-day moving average on that one. Good stuff. JMOS, what's going on? You bought the dip and it kept dipping. I know, exactly. I love that one. And Otas, what's going on? So how's the McClellan oscillator doing during this correction? Yeah, so the big thing with SPX, right, or any type of corrective phase that we like to see is if we're looking for any sort of big pullback, is we want to see the McClellan oscillator under minus 100, right? And so we just crossed that level here today. However, right, we need price action to confirm. So if you kind of go back and look at any big crash, right, the McClellan oscillator has been minus 100 levels, right, for a while, right? So you can see here during the Corona crash, we crossed over here early, and it kind of looks like what we have right now, just kind of like 2 down days, then ended up working its way up. But the longer we stay below the minus 100, right, we definitely want to pay attention and see what happens. Now, it could happen earlier than the last time, right? The big thing we really want to keep an eye eye on here is the macro upper trend line, right? So you can see here that we got a fresh trend box here today, and why is that? Because we finally broke the macro upper trend line. This is the trend line from the Corona crash lows, right? So and we cracked it today for the first time in a while. So here's the lows, right? Worked its way up. We cracked that trend line here today. So the big thing we want to see is if the trend will change, we'll have a fresh trend line down. If we break below this level right here and close towards the lows with increasing volume on the SPY or the S&P futures, right? So definitely keep an eye on that. So good stuff there. Michael Phillips, what's going on? Long time no see. Hope you're doing great. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Let's take a look. So look at this thing. I'm not sure what this is, but maybe I'm not. Maybe that's one of those terms. I don't know. But anyway, good stuff there. It's probably like fun the dip or something like that. So anyway, good stuff there. Armando, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's look like INO. Food time. It's time for food. Maybe that's what it means. Anyway, so big push here of the cloud with increasing volume. So definitely something to keep an eye on here. The one thing you still have to keep in mind. It's got that, right? So it's kind of rough right there. And then let's see if we go in all the way up here. Kind of push down here. It is breaking out of this trend line right here, okay? So there's a chance right here, but watch for potential resistance here on that kind of 950 level on INO. So good stuff there. And then CRM, let's see how that one's hanging up. CRM, nice bounce on the 50-day moving average, right? So it's been working its way down under the 80 MA, got to the 50-day, and got you a nice bounce on that one. Very appropriate here for today. And Zumba. So Zumba, interesting, right? So Zoom actually had some news today. They're talking about spending 14. I mean, this is so funny. This company, which was just an IPO, right, ended up, getting so high in price after the Corona, and then so here they're just shelling out $14 billion to buy something else, right? So all stock transaction, amazing, right? So anyway, bounce up the day moving average here on Zoom. So let's see how that ends up going with there. Sashi, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Nvidia. So Nvidia short, like we said. I mean, kind of the thing is we're going to split tomorrow. All right, so this thing's going to be, it's a 1-to-4 split, right? So we're what, $750 4, so it's gonna be about $187. Goodness, and that's where it was for such a long time. But $187 here tomorrow, right? So now we'll just kind of keep an eye on it and see if it. Usually after a split, we go up for like 1 day or two, and then after that, right, it tends to see some down move. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen, but it does tend to be the trend. So something to keep an eye on there. Michael, yeah. So let's take the SPRT. Let's take a look. Yeah, this is a big name that was mentioned recently. We talked about it on one of the live streams with Paul. Got a good push up there, and it's kind of chopping around, and lots of upper shadows on this name for some reason. But I heard it, I think, again today. It is up after hours, a couple cents here. It looks like 20 cents or so. Pretty big here for a penny stock. Not sure if any news. Made the short squeeze candidate list recently. So we'll see, but nice push up here after hours. So let's see how that goes. Let's see if we can get over today's, stay above today's highs, and then OCGN. Let's take a look. Yeah, OCGN. OCGN with a nice push here above the 80 MA here. It's got a little bit of room to get to the 50-day moving average there. And then Posh, let's take a look. Posh, nice bullish engulfing candle on that one. See if we can break to the upside here. And then Costco, strong like bull. I know this thing's just enormous, guys. Incredible stuff. This is one that we always want to look for an opportunity to buy the dip on, right? So just because welcome to Costco, I love you. This thing's always go. Here's your 50-day moving average right here, right? Once it broke through the 50-day moving average right here, right? I mean, this is just an epic name. Right? It's not easy to day trade anymore. It used to be fun to day trade. Big triangle breakout right here too. The big thing with Costco is just that they're always posting good numbers, and they're always busy, and the parking lots are always full, and everybody loves Costco. So it just keeps going. So wait for this. Who knows? Next correction. This is definitely one. This is a good portfolio name right here. Look at that. Off the 50-day moving average right here. Off the 50-day moving average right here. Oh, undershot the 50-day, but then ended up working its way up a little bit. Oh, off the 50-day moving average twice right there. It ended up working its way up. So it's a pretty incredible stuff. Getting a little bit extended right here, but it is riding the 80 MA. But yes, strong like bull. I love it. So good stuff there. Truth. What's going on? Going to see it. Yeah, let's take a look at Apple and see how that's doing right here. So Apple, not so exciting, compared to some of the other names right here, but a big push here. We got all our levels on here. Let me clear that up for you. But a big push back, right? So again, this gave a nice harmonic move up. It got all the way up to 150. So at this point now, we look for the 382 retrace here off the harmonic low. Right, and so it's got a little bit of room right here to potentially test that area. So definitely something to keep an eye on to see if they try to hold it at that 140 level for Apple. If it doesn't go up before that. And then the XLF, again, continuing to struggle. Again, gap down here today. Bank's really weak under the 80 MA. They need to kind of work their way up. 2020, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. DKNG. So a lot of casino names are strong today, and it seems like DKNG is almost trading along with them, right? So we got that going on. That was a pretty strong name here today. GMBL, another one that went green here today. BB, let's take a look. BB still grinding its way down right here. Doji here below the 80 MA, also below the 50-day. See how it holds at 200. Intel. Again, this is a nice gap down here today. They did end up buying the dip on this one here a little bit. Sophie. Still grinding below the 80 MA on this one, so a little bit of caution there. And then as JYNT, the stock has been crazy. Let's take a look at JYNT. Interesting. Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, this thing just look at this thing. This has been going up forever. It's finally below the 80 MA right here. Took a double inside day down here with increasing volume, so a little bit of caution off of that one. And then DOCN, let's take a look. Da, 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 da. Fear, uncertainty, despair. That's it. Okay, nice. DOC had then a nice push over the inside day, but still not over the 80 MA on that one. So a little bit of caution there. Fear, uncertainty, despair. Food. I gotcha. Yeah, let's get some food. Exactly. I love it. And bullish bearish trades. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look. All right, let's look at the VIX. Putting on the VIX. So VIX, again, big push here today with a big upper shadow. Again, a lot of times when we see these, right, like a big move like this, we get a little bit of follow through to the downside the next day. So let's see what happens here on that. Again, these big spikes in the VIX are not as exciting as these little closes right here, right? So today was the follow through day. Kind of is what it is. But good stuff there. Roku. Roku's still tricky, right? It's on the bullish radar from the bubble report this morning, but it's not out of the woods yet, right? It's still below the 80 MA on this one, right? And it still could be a CD leg of this harmonic move. So let's see if the wave 4 is in, ABC, and if it's ready to move its way up. Otherwise, if we can't get over the 80 MA, look for potential pullback to the cloud. So good stuff there. AMD. AMD also could be in with an ABC here as well. ABC, right? And we'll see if it's, so here you got your 1, 2, 3, ABC 4, and then we'll see if we get a wave 5 up. It's holding the 200-day moving average right now. And then Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla on this one right here. So Tesla, nice reversal day off of the 50-day moving average. Nice reversal on the 50-day moving average here, and a pretty decent move intraday. Not super duper easy. Almost was a short here today, then it gave us a doji reversal and ended up working its way up to do what it likes to do and squeeze out the shorts. So good stuff there. And then AMC, Michael, let's take a look. Yeah, AMC hanging in there. Got ended up tagging yesterday's range, so kind of hanging in there too. Again, I'd really like to see this thing get over the 80 MA and kind of get going again. It ended up taking that triangle down, right? So good stuff there. And then next, let's take a look at one more here. We got INMD. Let's see. INMD. Yeah, strong candle here today. Increased volume over the 80 MA. It looks like, see if we can push its way up. See if we can get over today's highs and get going off of that. So awesome. Good stuff, guys. Great request tonight. Michael, great to see you. Thanks again for tuning in. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in here tonight. Hopefully, you guys found this helpful. Again, it was a good discussion here on moving averages. I think we talked about some important ones here today for dip buys. Tomorrow, we're going to go over a different strategy for dip buying, and I think you guys will enjoy it. So be sure to tune in then, too. Hope everybody has a great evening. We'll see everybody bright and early tomorrow morning for the Good Morning Market Prep video right here on YouTube. And also be sure to check it out on Twitter as well. And until then, guys, have a great one. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe. See you